Man, this news landed heavy. They've traded the man with the C on his sweater, Brad Marchand, heading to the Florida Panthers for a 2027 second-rounder, which could potentially become a first-rounder in 28. Marchand's 36 in the final months of an 8-year deal with Boston, currently sidelined with an upper body injury, which could keep him out until shortly before the playoffs. But all that's semantics and bookkeeping. How do you measure what the guy's meant to this franchise? Well, some numbers give it context. Fourth on the all-time goals list, fourth in total games played, his 82 game-winning goals, second in team history. He scored 2 goals in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final in 2011, which remains the last cup-clinching victory for the Bees. Joined now by John Buccigross for some context on all of this. And listen, there's bigger moves in terms of probably on-ice impact long-term than the Marchand move, but you're talking about a 36-year-old guy, Bucci, who is just iconic in that sweater. I mean, in my head, all I can hear is, dude, Marchand, and you think of what he did, went in the Cup, and they went on a scorched earth tour after they did, and now he's going to wear a Panthers sweater. The on-ice implication in terms of gas left in the tank and what it means just to Florida is what?
Just more, grit and nastiness that they already had with Bennett and Tkachuk. I mean, a lot of childhoods ended in New England today, Scotty. This is a guy, nose-face killer, who they grew up with for the past 15 years. It was a tough day in Boston, a dark day, as they see this long run of success really go out the door with him. And for Florida, again, just to add him, probably put him on that second line with Bennett and Tkachuk. It just gives them another guy. There's just no holds barred for these GMs when you're in certain divisions like the Atlantic.
I saw your tweet about childhoods ending, and I mean, from Boston's perspective, I guess I get it, right? At some point, you can be nostalgic and look backwards, or you could try to plan and be pragmatic looking forward. Is that what this was?
For sure. They have no assets coming, Scotty, no prospects on the way. And they could re-sign Marchand this summer. It could be one of those trades. A guy leaves and he comes back. They couldn't quite agree on a contract. He wanted 3 years. They were stuck at 2, and then he wanted more. It seems like a bridge that is easily crossed. But, yeah, it's definitely a change of the guard in Boston. They're trying to retool on the fly. It's tough, but they have a 3-headed franchise piece with Swayman, McAvoy, Pastrnak. So they start with those 3, and now they'll try to build a new family around it.
Interesting. And the point you make about perhaps it's, you come right back across that bridge. We shall see. As far as the on-ice implication, the storylines, there's a lot of layers to this. I'm looking for some clarity. Rantanen gets moved to Carolina. Now he's back in the West with Dallas, and he's got an extension. Like, if you're Colorado, I'm trying to wrap my head around all this. You're shaking your head. Like, what is this?
I know, you always say, hey, don't trade to a team in your division or whatever. But, hey, they can end back up there anyway. And now here it is. We are looking at a Dallas-Colorado, in my mind, very likely first-round matchup. So Rantanen is sent to Raleigh, North Carolina, and now here he comes back the other way, like you said. I think he was heartbroken that he left Colorado. I think he should have taken control of his own future and say, I want to be here for 8 years. I've already made $80 million. And now here he is back in the Western Conference, more Finns. And he had Finns with Sebastian Aho and Raleigh's got more Finns now in Dallas. I think it's a good spot for him, a really good coach, a lot of good players. He'll be on a good team for the entirety of that contract. He's going to make the Hall of Fame. I think Colorado is the big winner in this deadline, Scotty. If I had to bet a paycheck on a team to win the Cup, I would take them.
Why?
Cale Makar. And he is just a whole difference maker. Obviously, Nathan McKinnon has a chance to win the scoring title. They have beefed up their depth. Now, they had no depth. Obviously, the Rantanen trade to get Natchez, but they needed more. They get Charlie Coyle from the Bruins as well. So Panthers, Colorado, it's a tough coin toss for me. But I do think there are 9 teams that can win the Cup. That's how fun this tournament is going to be. 5 in the West, 4 in the East. And I think it's going to be wide open. And again, a great team, a 100-point team is going home in April. And
just to remind folks, it was a year ago, I want to say All-Star break. You said Florida. You were early there. You got a crystal ball, man. This man knows the sport and is passionate about it in the way very few are. # college hockey. Bucci, I mean it when I say it. I love you, I miss you, and I always appreciate your time, brother.
See you down the road, Scotty.